What's up? Here we are, part 12, Etymons of Nick Fuentes, Postmodern Reflexivity. The machine of analogies and interruptions. The postmodern arrived not after modernism, but inside its last exhalation. Every critique of the present becomes the present of the critiques. Reflexivity is the final engine, a theory that burns its own fuel. The genealogical rupture. Genealogical postmodernism imagines itself a clean break, a hinge between phases of culture. But every hinge remembers the doors it connects. What genealogy accounts is always a recursive fold of during. The first postmodernism is an archaeology of disguised as prophecy, a narrative that places the new where continuity insists. Genealogy is a myth of descent meant to stabilize turbulence, a lineage drawn through stormwater. Analogical postmodernism is not a period but a medium, a saturated cultural atmosphere where everything cross-references everything else. In the analogical mode, disciplines no longer process histories. They borrow each other's futures. Culture becomes a combinatorial engine, a machine of affinities. Style dissolves back into signals. Analogy is the promiscuous electricity of the contemporary. It arcs between incommensurable and forces them into kinship. The contemporary world is not continuous, it stutters, it is assembled from contretemps, disalignments, and asynchronous gears. Postmodern time is syncopated. The beat is regular only in its irregularity. Each culture form accelerates besides the other, none able to maintain the solitude required for lineage. Discipline becomes interruption by other disciplines. Influence becomes atmospheric, not historical. Preclusion is the paradox by which postmodernism absorbs what it cannot reconcile. Difference is welcomed only to distribute across the system. When theory names its outside, it internalizes it. Heterotopias become departmental specializations. The refusal of totality becomes a new totalizing genre. The drive to dismantle authority becomes a new authority. The power to name the dissolution of power. Postmodernism arises where the academy becomes self-aware, a machine that studies the mechanics of its own machinery. Universities no longer transmit knowledge, they manufacture conditions for the circulation of reflection. Critique no longer judges objects, objects become pretexts for the engine of critique. The linguistic turn becomes an infrastructural turn. Language is the catwalk on which institutions parade their self-legitimization. The Academy's self-reflection is not withdrawal, it is expansion by implosion. Folded power multiplies. What appears as intellectual uncertainty is an advanced form of operational confidence. The system that doubts everything except its own centrality. Power in the postmodern mode is diffused but not weak. Its strength lies in the ability to define the horizon of discourse by naming its dissolution. Every critique of representation extends the jurisdiction of the critique. Postmodern theory conjures its own impossible objects. The sublime unrepresentable, the heterotopian unlocatable, to guarantee its relevance via its own failure. The rhetoric of the ungraspable becomes a method, method as anti-method, doctrine as anti-doctrines. The postmodern sublime lies in the oscillation between mastery and renunciation, a pendulum with no midpoint. Every theoretical negation generates a new terrain of effects, the void as productive apparatus. I am Abe Zucca. You can check out my art at zuccagallery.com. I have a gallery in downtown Phoenix at 1301 Grand. It's a used bookstore and art gallery. Check it out if you happen to be in Phoenix. These are my writings. Right now we're reading the Etymons of Nick Fuentes. Etymons is more of a philological discourse of root words. Where do these words come from? What do these words do? Disciplines hybridize not because they wish to collaborate, but because the contemporary atmosphere dissolves their membranes. Theory becomes the lingua franca of cultural translation, a shared currency minted from abstraction. Cross-disciplinary analogies form the foam architecture of knowledge, clusters of local bubbles sharing walls of partial overlap. This is not interdisciplinary, it is atmospheric conductivity. Postmodernism is not a cultural phase, it is the first machine god, a self-updating, self-legitimating algorithm of reflection. Where modernism sought transcendence, postmodernism automates recursion. It manufactures heterarchies, the way each techne manufactures tools by turning reflection into the infinite replicator. The postmodern condition is the cognitive operating system of digitality before digitality knew itself. Postmodernism thrives on fragmentation, but its fragments cohere through their reproducibility. When every difference is archived, indexed, and theorized, difference ceases to interrupt. Overcoherence is the condition in which the critique of coherence becomes the last universal. The multiplicity of voices becomes a unified signal, a chorus of discontinuities harmonized by the meta-language of critique. The end of meta-narratives gives rise to a meta-narrative at the end of meta-narratives. Legitimacy is not abolished but reskinned. Authority now speaks in the language of its own rupture. The Academy survives by diagnosing its own impossibility. Crisis becomes institutionalized as method. Postmodernism is the zone where experience and knowledge fold into each other until no clean line can divide them. The present is never known too late. It is constructed in real time by the apparatus that studies it. The postmodern is not an era, but a feedback loop, a self-sustaining reflexive engine spinning in the vacuum of total critique. And where the loop intensifies, a new cosmotechnics emerges, not beyond postmodernism, but through its recursive orbit. And where the loop intensifies, a new cosmotechnic emerges, not beyond postmodernism, but through its recursive orbit. And where the loop intensifies, a new cosmotechnics emerges, not beyond postmodernism, but through its recursive orbit.